Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at a very lightweight kit for your gear. And this is the Evernew Titanium DX alcohol and biomass stove stand. Let's check it out. Alright everybody, welcome back. So I wanted to get this. Now this doesn't include the burner. I just want to make that clear as we start the video out. There is a version that does include the burner. This is just the stand, and I have a compatible alcohol stove for this, so that's why I just wanted to buy this one. You can buy this with the Evernew burner also, the Evernew alcohol stove, but I have this little Lixada one, and it is almost identical in shape and size and fits right in there. If you have a regular Trangia burner, it will not work in this. It's too big. No matter what you do, no matter what you try to cut out of this thing, it's bigger than the circumference of it. It's not going to fit. So that's just start off with that. Let you know that's why I just bought this without the burner, because I already had a compatible burner for it. So this DX stand allows you multi-fuel versatility. You can use wood, solid fuel like biomass, alcohol. You can also use the tablets, the Esbit tablets or any kind of other tablets that you have to boil water. Now my reasoning behind this is that the gear I was carrying before was all pretty much super ultra lightweight. Now this is going in my electric bike. Now with my scooter I really didn't care about weight because it's got a little bit of a bigger engine, didn't have to worry about weight too much. With the e-bike I still want to keep my load as light as possible. This makes for excellent emergency gear. Again, this is going to go in there just for emergencies. If I break down, if I decide to pull over on the side of the road and make a cup of coffee, if whatever happens, I'm going to have this little kit here for emergencies. Now what I was carrying before, and I'll show you everything here. I'm going to get this out of the stuff sack. This is the Boundless Voyage Titanium Cook Kit, okay? And in there I have a rubber cup and the suspension stuff for it, and a small little scrubby to clean everything out when I'm done. This will hang it over an open fire. That's what that's about, okay? In here I also had my alcohol stove and titanium alcohol stove pot stands, okay? And I was just going to use this sitting on top of there. However, it didn't provide me any wind protection, and as you can tell by my videos while I'm trying to film them outside, it's always windy here. So it didn't really provide me much wind protection, and even though it was super ultra lightweight, it wasn't all that stable, especially for an oddly shaped pan like that. So what I decided to do was also carry a wood stove as well, a little biomass wood stove. That guy is over here. And it's one of those slot-together type wood stoves. It's kind of an octagon. It's an unusual one. I did review it on here. But it's very, very heavy. Very heavy. And compared to this thing, it's not even close. We're going to weigh them in a second, and I'll show you the difference. So this way, I can ditch this and this, and just have this. That's my kit right there, ready to go. Now, actually, I'm going to store the stove in this because they tell you, because this is titanium and very lightweight, they tell you to not store this without either in some kind of protective package or with something in it so it doesn't get squished. This all folds down into itself. A very neat little kit. Let me get this all apart here. Basically what you're going to do is flip it over like that and drop this piece in there, and there you go. And this goes on the bottom. So that's your little kit. You can throw your alcohol stove in there as well. And I like to keep my alcohol stoves in what was I going to say? A Ziploc bag. Because that way, I don't get the alcohol. If it drips out, I don't get it in my food or in my cooking or anything like that. So this is all going to go in one kit. Alright? Now you notice this plate up top. This is what they call the power plate. Supposedly, this will increase your heat and your boiling times. Now, I did a lot of research on this little stand here. And everywhere I looked, I saw that the people that did use it did get a faster boiling time, but only by a few seconds. Why am I going to keep it in here? Because if I want to use this as a biomass stove and want to use this with wood, I can drop this in the bottom here along those slotted lines, stick it in there like that. Sorry about bumping the camera there. Put this back on here, and there we go. I have a biomass stove. So I can take little twigs and I can cook over that. And I'm not carrying approximately, I would say, 1 pound. We'll weigh it out for sure, but this thing is heavy. I'm not carrying this big heavy thing. I'm just carrying that, and it's dual purpose. Now I do like the titanium sticks here, these little titanium stands, but they're not as stable, and like I said, they offer no wind protection at all. And like you've heard out here when I go outside and the camera starts distorting from the wind, the wind out here can be bad. So what we're going to do is put this thing together and try it out. This does provide a lot of protection from the wind, which is nice, okay? And with its bi-level jet system, it creates a strong, stable flame. Now this will hold about 70 milliliters of alcohol, and this is the thing I'm carrying my alcohol in. I know this isn't very lightweight, but it works. This is what I'm going to be carrying my alcohol in the vehicle, in the little e-bike. So let's set it up. I'm not going to do a wood burn in it today. We are going to do a burn test on just alcohol. I want to see how fast it boils, 2 cups of water. Let's set this thing up and try it out. Alright, so I got my little protective cover here for the table. I'm going to be putting this together. Now the first thing I'm going to do is fill up the alcohol stove, and I'm just going to be using some heat. This stuff is really, really good for your alcohol stoves, and it also keeps everything from getting sooty and nasty. If you use a lower grade alcohol, you know, like say 51% alcohol from Walmart, you're going to get a lot of soot and stuff on your pans. With this, it'll work perfectly. So that fits right in there. It drops right in. As you can tell, there's little feet on the bottom, and it holds a little bit off the ground so you won't scorch anything underneath it. Okay? Now I filled that up to about, what does it say, 2 fluid ounces. Not 21 ounces. That would be quite interesting. I'd be putting this thing out forever. Alright, so I filled it up to 2 ounces of alcohol in there. Let's cover that up. I'm going to put the top on it. And remember, you got to put the top on so it fits. What I like to do is put the 2 holes together here, like this. So I want to put the top on, like this. Get on there. There we go. Just kind of lock it into place like that. Now they also tell you with this not to light this from the top, because of course it's going to shoot back at you. They have a hole here that you can light it with. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put the power plate on. We're going to try it with the power plate on. And I'm going to get my lighter out, which I of course should have pre-planned. Bad me, I didn't pre-plan it for the video. Alright, light it up. And there we go, I believe that's going. Alright, so we're going to wait for that to bloom. Yep, that's going. I don't know if you can see it on camera. We'll darken the lights in a sec. Now, I've got my 2 cups of water over here, okay, in this enormous measuring cup. And we're going to try it in this Boundless Voyage titanium. There we go, and it's bloomed already. That was fairly quick. And I'm going to get my my stopwatch over there on my phone, and we're going to see how long this takes to boil 2 cups of water. Now it is perfectly going there. I can see it perfect blue. All right, once I get this on here and start the timer, I'm going to bring you back with the lights off, and we'll take a look at it. All right, so let's start it out. I'm going to put it on there. Yeah, I'm giving it a few seconds advantage. And there we go. That is a very nice stable platform, by the way. So, let's turn off the lights. I'll give you a look at how it's working in there and how it's going. And we'll see how long this takes, because I got my watch going here. 16, 17 seconds. Let's see how we do. Alright, so maybe not the best picture, but you can kind of see how that's working. It's doing very, very well. I'm going to back you out a little bit. Let's back you out. You see how nice that stove works. That thing is awesome, that little Exada titanium stove. And you can see you're getting a burn out these holes here too. So if you wanted to use, say, a regular titanium mug, that would work as well. I do have the flame coming a little bit more over on this side than on this side, because I want to be able to grab these handles, and I can do that if I'm not sticking the flame right over them. But you can see that power plate down there is getting nice and warm. We're about 2 minutes in. I don't see any boiling yet, but I'm seeing some stuff on the bottom there. The bubble's starting to bubble up. So you got to get a look at what it looks like, see when it's in working order and when it's functioning. Let me back out a little bit. We'll give it more time, and I'll bring you back when we're boiling water. All right. 3 minutes, 21, 23 seconds. We are starting to get bubbles popping up from the bottom there. Looking good. Gotta say, that's pretty impressive for such a small little stove. This seems to amplify the heat, which I really, really like. It seems to kind of congest it all in one place and let it focus more on the bottom. We're getting 2 cups of water going here, so I'd like to see it under maybe 6 minutes normally, or 6 or 7 minutes for an alcohol stove. This one seems to be able to beat that so far. So let's come back when it's fully boiling, and we'll see how long it takes. I'm going to pause it right there. 5 minutes, and as you can tell, rolling boil. That is impressive, especially for an alcohol stove. Really, really impressive. And I am using gloves there just to be safe, because I know that's still going to be a little warm. So I am very, very impressed with this stove. So let me get the fire out here, and that's something I do need to come up with for it, is some kind of snuffer. I have not come up with anything for that particular stove yet, and it didn't come with one. So let me get that out, and I'll figure out something here, and bring you back. If you guys have any suggestions, I'm just going to lift that out with a stick or a twig or whatever, and see if we can find a way to snuff that out. All right, really quick, I did find something, a good old Stanley cook kit. Just put it over the top there and it snuffed it right out. I do need to find a more efficient way of doing it, because obviously I'm not going to carry a cook kit just to snuff out my thing. But if you guys have any suggestions in the comments, feel free to leave them. It's just been something I didn't get any kind of snuffer with this particular stove, and it's really not the end of the world on it. You know, I mean, you could just be careful and not use a lot of alcohol. But as you can tell, within 5 minutes I got that boiling. So this is fairly efficient, this whole system. Another nice thing about it is you can see I'm holding this. It's only been about a minute and a half since I shut off the camera, and it's cool now. This will remain hot because, of course, you're going to get the residual heat of the stove. But still, it's touchable. You know, I'm not burning my fingers on it. So, definitely impressive little system. All right, let me get everything put away and cooled off, and we'll give you my final thoughts on it and specs on the item itself. All right, so that is the Evernew Titanium DX stand. Definitely way better than just using the cross members on the little titanium stove. To take this thing apart now, I'm just going to pull it apart like that. Take that out. Put it in upside down like that. And close it up. That's simple. You kind of lock these down in there like that. And I'm also going to put my alcohol stove in here. Not really sure if that goes on the top or the bottom, but I am going to be placing my alcohol stove in here to keep it, you know, in one piece so it doesn't get squished, because they do suggest you do that. Probably be doing it more like this. And again, this is something new for me, so I'm learning with you guys here on camera. I'm kind of learning as I go. There you go. So there's a little kit right there, simple and easy to use. This does get a little warped after using it, but being that you're not putting anything on this really just, kind of bend it back in shape. This really just exists to intensify the flame somewhat. I don't really care if it gets warped or not. No big deal for me. And there's your kit right there with your alcohol stove already in it, ready to go. So I gotta say, I really like it. These are not cheap. Evernew stuff is never cheap, but for convenience factor, for form factor, for weight, especially in what I'm going to be using it with, where this and this is all I got, as opposed to a big heavy stove and cross members and then the alcohol stove, definitely an improvement and worth it. These run $46.50. Okay, now that is without the stove. My stove is packed in here. It comes without the stove. I don't want people to get the wrong idea and be like, oh, I didn't get a stove, why not, you know? It comes without the stove. You can buy it with the stove. I think they're about 80 bucks with the stove. Do I think it could be a little cheaper? Yeah, it probably could be a little cheaper. But honestly, this stuff is made in Japan. Probably some of the best titanium stuff out there. Evernew and a lot of the Japanese titanium companies, they make awesome stuff. So it's really, really good, really handy, and very, very lightweight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare this here with my stove in it, stand, and a biomass stove all in one, to what I had previously on scale. Alright, so first up, it's the Evernew titanium pot stand with the alcohol stove in it. There is no alcohol in the stove. And I'm showing 3.67 ounces. I hope you guys can see that. It's really hard to read this scale because it's kind of angled. Alright, now, with the stove, let's take our stove out of here. Okay. The stove, the crossbars, and a bio stove, so I can possibly cook with sticks and twigs and whatever. We're going to put that on. Whoops, let's zero that. It's not zeroed. There we go. Put this on. Alright, that's already 8.8 ounces. Add that, 9.94, and 11.15 ounces. So it's definitely lightweight compared to that. It's definitely a great improvement over what I had previously. And you can't believe, this doesn't look heavy, but you can't believe how heavy this thing feels in my hand. So let's finish up the video. Alright, so that's the Evernew Titanium DX stand. Again, it's just the stand, not the stove and the stand, as you can tell by the picture here. And if you've got a compatible alcohol stove like I do, you see how easily that fits in there. That's all one nice little package, alcohol stove on the bottom. Mine is a Luxada. If you search on my channel, if you go to my main page and search for Luxada alcohol stove, you'll see that. I reviewed it probably within the last year, I believe. And I'm definitely impressed with it. I gotta say, it's a nice kit. Very, very lightweight, way lighter than what I was doing before. And it gives me the option of using this as a wood stove if I have to, if my alcohol is depleted. Now, you also have the added benefit of having a wind protection. And out here, as you know, we can definitely use that because it's windy out here often. I can use this, and it kind of keeps the wind away from the alcohol stove. With just the cross members, they're really awesome. If that's all you're going to carry is an alcohol stove and cross members, that's awesome. But if it's windy, you're going to lose a lot of efficiency because it's going to keep blowing to one side, whichever way the wind blows, and it's not going to focus that heat up. And with the power plate, I mean, you see it, I still have it on my screen here. 5-minute boil, literally, 5.188 seconds. So definitely an impressive item. I will be saving, of course, the cross members. I'm sure I'll find a use for them somewhere. But I got to say, that just beats it all. Now, it won't fit in here like my last alcohol stove did, obviously. That might. Let's see. It'd be really funny if it did. And I'm telling you on camera, it won't fit in here. You'll never get it in there. Nah, see? The sides are too tight. But that's fine. I mean, it's just a second piece of gear that I can put in a stuff sack. And I can carry this stuff with me. And it's completely separate. So, all in all, definitely impressed with it. Going to be great in my little e-bike kit. And we will be using it when we go out, you know, doing food tests and stuff on the bike. The bike's pretty much ready to go. Just waiting for the weather to cooperate because we've been in our monsoon season here in Nevada. And it's been pouring every day. So, just waiting for the weather to cooperate a little bit and we'll get out there. The stand itself weighs 1.3 ounces. With the stove, it's 91 grams or 3.1 ounces. Super rugged, lightweight titanium. It definitely reduces your backpack weight or your carry weight. The dimensions on it, 2.7 inches by 3.5 inches by 3.4 inches. And the whole weight of the item itself without anything in it is 0.15 pounds. So if you're going by ounces or pounds, 1.83 ounces or 0.15 pounds, according to their calculations. Again, we saw it weighed here. It's way lighter than what I was carrying before. So now, I just need to dig through my gear and find me a stuff sack for that, and I'm set. I'm ready to go. So, I thank you guys for watching. The link for this will be down below. Remember, it does come without the alcohol stove, because I know people are going to order it and be like, I didn't get the same alcohol stove you did, you know? So it comes without it. You have to order that. You can order it from Evernew or you can order it from Lixada. I've had very good luck with the Lixada stove. I love it, so that's why I ordered the Lixada, because it was a lot cheaper. All my other links will be down below. We have our Amazon affiliate store below that. Anything that you've seen me use in the channel is probably in that store unless it's specialized gear. So check that out if you want to find out some of the stuff that I use from my survival and prep gear and my camping gear. We have our freeze-dried wholesaler link. That link down below will save you 15%. You don't need to enter any codes. You don't need to do anything fancy. Just click the link and boom, you'll save 15% on your order when you check out. So it's definitely worthwhile. Below that is our My Patriot supply link. That's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. We are still running the 3-month $150 off deal, so you get 3 months worth of food, $150 off. Awesome way to get stocked up if you have nothing, or if you're just getting started, or even if you just want an extra 3 months worth of food. I love that stuff, and I love combining it with canned goods. Like I'll take a canned chicken and toss it in with the rice or whatever, and it makes for an awesome meal. But you can eat the stuff just without anything. So it does give you some food security in the long term. And below that is our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Okay, and we do have some Thrive Life specials this month. I'm going to be doing a short video on that one coming up soon to show you what specials we got. And I thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.